All right, we're live. Sorry about that music mix up.
Not at all. Thank you, Mr. King. And welcome to our final family table of the school year. It has been a year that we will not forget. We have been virtual. We are now hybrid. We were at a point where we didn't know exactly what we were going to do, but here we are, and we have made it to almost the end of the school year. And I just want to start by thanking each and every one of you. This would not be possible for us to come here together and still have smiles on our faces, and children have been successful without the help of everyone in the community, all our parents and families, our PTSA. I have to personally thank my administrators for all the work that they have done to make this possible. And I cannot forget our teachers and staff. They have been, frankly, working hard day and night, trying to make this thing work, and they have done a fabulous job of doing that. And so when people come together and do their part, it makes for lighter work for everyone, and also we can build success together. And so if I take anything from this experience this year, and that is that working together with families and the school truly makes a difference. And so parents, I encourage you to have this closeness with your children when we're not virtual. When we come back into the schoolhouse next year, it would be wonderful to see you as often as you can, and also to support your children as much as you have during this virtual cycle. So thank you so much. And we will do the same, and that is to engage you more with what we're doing and why we're doing it. So we've learned from each other during the school year, and it has been fabulous. So thank you. Again, our fabulous administrative team is here with me tonight, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves. Ms. Crook.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Ms. Crook, the assistant principal for kindergarten through second grade.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Beth Morphy. I'm the assistant principal for grades 3 through 5.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Trevin Jelks, assistant principal, 6th grade assistant principal. Welcome.
Good evening, Donald King, assistant principal for 8th grade.
And we have a guest with us tonight. Ms. Henderson, would you introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. Janine Henderson here, PTSA president, 2021, I guess. I lost track of the years, but welcome.
I think we all have, Ms. Henderson. So at this point, I'd like to ask Dr. Jelks to begin our presentation. Our agenda for tonight, we want to start with celebrations and our promotions, and then we'll move on to the PTSA business and our elementary and middle school summer schools that we're going to have, and then we will entertain any questions. Of course, if you have questions throughout the program, please feel free to use the chat and we will respond as quickly as possible. But those lingering questions, we will have a question and answer session. The celebration I'd like to bring to your attention is the Maryland National History Day competition took place, and we have a winner. Well, really two, Ellis and Lillian Merrill. Their project on Alexander Graham Bell, the villain, was in the Maryland State National History Day competition, and they will be representing the state of Maryland at the national competition. Let's give our two students a round of applause. This is fabulous. We look forward to sharing their results with you. Next slide, Dr. Jelks. All right, we're gonna move straight to our next exciting celebration that we all remember, and that's our kindergarten promotion. Ms. Crook.
Yay! I'm so excited for our kindergartners. Parents, our promotion ceremony is going to take place on Tuesday, June 8th at 10 o'clock a.m. We're going to run for an hour from 10 to 11. Unfortunately, last year we weren't able to come together as an Akakeek family. Everything was virtual. So I am very happy to announce that this year, although we're not having our traditional promotion ceremony, we're going to have a drive-through honk and wave. So parents, I want everyone to come out, decorate your cars. It's time to celebrate our kindergartners. Mr. King, we're going to talk about logistics. As you're driving in, we're going to show you a diagram of how it's going to look. Dr. Jokes, you want to go to that next slide? So on our diagram, you'll see the flow of traffic as you are coming off of Berry Road and you're going to enter into our bus lots. You're going to make a right and you'll see some cones and balloons. You're going to follow the arrows. So parents, we're going to drive slowly. We're going to stay in one lane. We're not going to try to race in front of each other to get to the finish line. We're going to stay in our lane. We're going to drive around the parking lot. Once you get to a table, you'll see all the kindergartner teachers out there shouting and waving. That is your time to, you're going to get your bag. All kindergarten students are going to get a goodie bag. You're going to see a stage there. That stage is for our 8th graders. But we are going to celebrate our kindergartners for all the hard work that they have done. On that day, parents, we're asking that you please bring your students to school on that day. There will not be any live instruction taking place. Students will have activities inside of their Google Classroom that they're going to do for the day. After our promotion ceremony, you are welcome to take your child and go out and celebrate. If your schedule does not allow for that and you need your child to stay at school after the ceremony, please notify the classroom teacher. So after the ceremony, you're going to park in the visitors lot and then you're going to sign your student in. And if you have any questions about the promotion ceremony, please reach out to me.
Thank you, Ms. Crook. And also, we are so excited to celebrate our 8th graders that are preparing for high school. This is a very exciting time for them. The traffic flow is the same. We're actually using the same parking lot, which is the bus parking lot. And the only difference is that our 8th grade scholars will actually get out the car at some point. Now, only the student will get out of the car and walk across the stage to receive their promotion certificate. And then after they step down off the stage, there will be a photo background area for students to take a picture. So someone in the passenger seat of the vehicle can take pictures at the stage and at the photo area. But again, only the 8th grade student will get out of the vehicle. There is recommended attire, however, it's not necessary, but we're just recommending white or pastel dress or pantsuit, dark slacks, white shirt and tie, but again, it is not mandatory. Our colors, just in case you want to decorate your car in the same color, will be royal blue and yellow. And we are asking that parents drive through at a certain time, just so that we don't cause so much traffic down Berry Road. So the times are listed on the 8th grade website, and we're asking students' last name A through D to begin arriving from 12 to 12:30, E through J, 12:30 to 1, K through R, 1 to 1:30, and S through Z, 1:30 to 2. And again, this information is posted on our 8th grade website on the events page. And it has also been emailed to students and parents.
Mr. King, before you move on, there was a question regarding 8th graders. Are they to return then after that date?
Well, on that day, just like Ms. Crook said, they will, we would do all activities virtually, so no students should come into the building on that day. But if you must, please let us know if your schedule doesn't allow. But as far as attending school after that, the teachers will notify students about expectations, but students are expected to attend until the last day of school. 8th grade is not considered graduation like high school, so you are expected to attend until the last day. However, teachers will tell students the expectations. Some parents may want to keep their child home virtually, and that's okay, but they still need to attend class.
Thank you. I just like to take a moment and first thank Ms. Crook and the kindergarten team for all of their hard work this year. I was very surprised, and I think that many people were very surprised about how engaged and attentive our kindergartners were this school year. I have said it many times, and I'll say it again, the most fabulous kindergarten team in the county. It works here at Accokeek Academy. And I tell you, not one time did I not go into a kindergarten classroom and the kids were so engaged and enthusiastic about learning. And we'd like to keep that enthusiasm going. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Ms. Crook. Thank you, Ms. Light, Ms. Anera, Ms. Andrews, and our stalwart, Ms. Messick, for all of your hard work. We appreciate you. And I also want to thank Mr. King and the 8th grade team. The 8th grade team has spent so much time going from calling to visitations to incentives to ensuring that our children were engaged in their learning. And when they weren't and we had to go out and find them, they did that. And so I just want to say that we started out 8th grade with a lot of absences, but we have ended with a very good attendance, very good engagement, and most of our students being engaged. And so parents, thank you so much for ensuring that your child is going to move on to high school. I thank you for that. Next slide, please. All right, we have our Parent Teacher Student Association president with us tonight, Ms. Janine Henderson. And so she is going to talk to us about the PTSA. Ms. Henderson.
Good evening again and welcome. As we bring our year to a close, I wanted to share with you all that we have elections now open for next school year. We want to encourage everyone to either nominate someone that they know, that parent that they see always active, always involved. Nominate someone, nominate yourself. However, the elections are opening, and we're going to work through the summer and work through the kinks and get everyone acclimated to being on the executive board. But we wanted to share with you a couple reasons why you should join and how the year has been so far. So here you can probably find this document on our site, the PTSA site, as well as the school site. So if we can go to the next slide. I wanted to share with you a little bit about the positions, because sometimes you don't want to join or sign up for something not knowing what it's about. So these are brief descriptions of what the positions entail. And as the president, you attend the meetings, you work closely with Dr. Adams and her team and her administrator to support the school the best way we can. As the vice president, you would assist the president in doing such. The treasurer, we have two vice presidents, by the way. We have an upper campus position as well as a lower campus. Then we have our treasurer, handle all the funds, make sure we're in good standing, make sure if we're national, state, or however that goes, make sure we have insurance to have activities, to make sure our kids and our families are covered and we're insured with any activity that we may host or have. We have our secretary. She keeps all the notes and all the minutes, and he or she, should I say, now that we have an open election, will keep all of our paperwork, our meeting minutes, all our notes in place. And the treasurer, like I said, those positions have to be filled for us to go forward. So I encourage you to please nominate someone. If it's not you, I know there's a parent out there. I see all the parents, always active, always involved, always at the school, and we need you. We need you to volunteer your time And the next slide, please. I'll tell you some of the things that we've done. You know, if we've sponsored field trips for our kids, you know, we make donations for the teacher appreciation. We take the slack off of Dr. Adams and her team and give them some relief to host some activities, to have events and do fundraisers at Chipotle. You know, Chick-fil-A, we bring the lunch into the school. So there's a lot of activities that you can participate by nominating yourself or being elected for one of those positions. And you can make the decisions on how the PTSA is ran and ideas that you may have, you can put them in place. Next slide, please. Okay, and you may say, well, what does the PTSA do? Why am I joining? Why am I paying? What is all this about? This is a brief look, a picture at what we do. You see these STEM programs, you see these field trips. You know, the budget for the school system is sometimes questionable and they may need funds. So when you pay your membership goes toward assisting your school to be able to do things they probably couldn't do on some of their budgets or some of their limits. So it all goes back to benefit our kids. That's the one thing we need to remember. What are we doing this for? Why are we doing it? We're charging the cost to run the PTSA, to have buildings open, to offer refreshments. That's what your funds are. And it's not I don't want to say a small amount, but it's a small fraction of money for the benefit that you get when you give back to your kids. So I would very, very highly recommend that you run for a position and give it a try, or sit down and meet with one of the executive board members to see exactly, you know, how it's going, what's really happening, what do I really need to do? Because I know it can be fearful if you sign up for something and you're like, oh my gosh, what have I done? But it's not. It's an amazing reward when you see what comes out of it. And if you have someone you want to nominate, yourself or someone else, you can, I have posted here, you can send an email or send your nomination and how to send it, what information we need about the nominated person or persons to the membership email box. And that's membership@academyptsa.org. So we need you, please consider. On our website also, we'll have dates and we're going to work this through. We had an unusual school year this year, so the dates and deadlines are a little bit different, but we're going to work through this over the summer. And as you express your interest, we will contact you. And I think there's one more slide. Nope, that's it for me. Okay, yes, so please reach out to us and again, nominate someone, talk to these parents and tell them, hey, you want to see a difference. You want to see things change. You have ideas and you don't know where to start or the school is limited. This is your time. This is your time to become an executive board member and make those ideas come to life, should I say, come to life. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Henderson. We truly appreciate your hard work. We also appreciate the PTSA being flexible and working with us through a very difficult year, but assisting us in any way that was possible. And so we thank you sincerely. And we also encourage our participation in the election. It means a great deal to the school. Our support from the PTSA makes a difference. And I think that what's really important about the PTSA is that every year, we get better at our relationships. And it also allows for more involvement of our parents in decision making. I mean, we have talked every year about our budget and where things should be placed and where we need emphasis. And I think it's important for us to continue that dialogue. As I said at the beginning of the presentation, we have learned a lot about building our relationship with one another and moving forward together. So thank you very much, Mrs. Henderson. Our next discussion is about summer school. And I am going to ask Ms. Morphew to begin this discussion. Ms. Morphew for elementary.
Thank you, Dr. Adams. Okay, so elementary has several different options for summer school. So the first one is our summer acceleration program. And it is a tier 1 program. So as you can see, the numbers of how many students would be selected for at each grade level. And I'm going to go into it in more detail in a moment. We also have the elementary digital explosion for K-5, which entails also the Summer Math Warriors program for K-1. And then you're also going to have the Prince George's County Public Schools TV schedule, as we did at the beginning of the school year for our rising K-5 students. Then we also have the elementary book nook program. And this is for our tier 3 students with low attendance and those who had D's or E's in reading language arts. So if you could switch over to the next slide. So we're targeting enrollment of 5,100 students, and there's 22 learning hubs. Accokeek Academy was selected as one of those hubs this year. So our students that were selected will be able to attend Accokeek Academy for the Tier 1 acceleration program. For grades pre-K through 5 students enroll currently for the 2021 school year. Grade 6 students will attend the middle school program, which I believe Mr. King will be discussing. Our in-house summer school program, which students will be in the building for, is a full day program, Monday through Thursday from 9 in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It starts July 6th and actually ends on July 29th. The 30th is a Friday, if I remember correctly. Times vary, I guess, like we just said, for the Learning Hub, but ours would be 9 to 3. Transportation is provided as well as breakfast and lunch. It is in person, it is required by the MSDE. So there is no virtual option. Students who agreed to, or parents that you agree your child to attend, they have to come in person. And it is the Prince George's County Reading and Math curriculum that we're following. So as I was saying earlier, with this program, they are focusing on reading and math. We're following the Prince George's County curriculum for that grade level. And they're also going to have some art and physical education to break it up a little bit. And we're going to work on social emotional learning for kindergarten. We'll also have learning coaches. They'll be able to provide one-on-one coaching for students who are identified with their teachers needing additional supports during this time, if need be. The class sizes for kindergarten will be 1 teacher, 1 para for a group of 15 students. And for grades 1 through 5, it'll be a 1 to 10 ratio, 1 teacher with 10 students in a class. So the digital explosion, as we mentioned earlier, is a reading math intervention program. It is a virtual program. So as students right now have access to iReady, Dreambox, iRead, they will still continue to have access to that all summer long. So please take advantage of it. It is geared to their level, their performance level now, so it enhances their skills to continue working on that over the summer. And Dr. Joss, can you flip it to the next? Thank you. There is another additional program for K-1 students. It's called the Summer Math Warriors program. And it's for families of rising kindergartners and first grade students can complete weekly activities to support their math development skills. So if you were to click that link, it would take you to the Spark Summer page on the Prince George's County website. And each week it has different activities that the students can work on at their level, at their pace. It gives you activities. There's some videos that different teachers did some videos that you can watch. There's some games, interactive games that they can do online, but it is all virtual. It is all online. Next slide, please. Thank you. As I said earlier, there is going to be the Prince George's County Public Schools is going to have their TV schedule as they did earlier at the beginning of the year for students at every grade level, K to 5, that it will be broadcasted on this Prince George's County station, and it'll be available on demand Tuesday, July 6th, sorry for the typo error, through July 30th. For Comcast, it'll be channel 96 and 38 for Verizon. That schedule has not been posted yet, but it will be posted soon. And then we have our Tier 3 intervention program, and that's our Book Nook program. And these are for students that were struggling in reading language arts and perhaps had low attendance. So we are happy that Prince George's County partnered with Book Nook, and they will be able to work virtually twice a week with a tutor to help support those reading needs that they may have deficits in, and they will get that extra support they would need through that program. It is now open to everybody, so it's not just those who have DNEs, but it is on a first come, first served basis. So you may want to take advantage of that as well. Next slide.
Thank you so much, Ms. Morphew. Just to recap really quickly, the first program is in school, in person. That's by invitation for students who are in need of that direct instruction. The second program is the Book Nook program. The Book Nook program is also by invitation. It is developed in a special way for reading intervention as well as reading acceleration. The third program is the K-1 program. Well, they will be focusing on math skills and that math intervention. Thank you for that reminder. And in addition to that, the PGCPS television programs will still be available for K-5. As those of you who may recall, who are having some difficulties and wanted to complement their in-class activities, went to the PGCPS TV. And so those are done by PGCPS teachers, including some of ours. So you will see some of ours on that programming as well. And then finally, all other elementary students in K-5, you have total access all summer to Dreambox, iRead, and iReady. Mr. King, you want to discuss middle school?
Yes. So our middle school programs are going to be all virtual. There's no in-person programs for middle school at this time. There's going to be a tier 1 and tier 2. Today I'm going to talk about the tier 2. Is designed to support students who have an average of E in math and reading for the first 3 quarters. So for example, if the child has all E's, that's the average is an E, or 2 E's and a D on their report card, that would mean their average is an E. So they have an average of an E in math and reading. Those are the students who will be taking the tier 2 program. And parents have been notified, and more information is forthcoming. But if you have not been notified, then your child would not be participating in this program. This is only for selected students. Some students may be required to take this program in order to go to the next grade level. This program will address learning loss, and it is skill building in reading and math. The middle school summer program is an hour and a half of reading and an hour and a half of math, and it'll also incorporate daily wellness, socio-emotional learning, and leadership activities. The days are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. However, don't quote me on that because there is another flyer that has different, says Monday through Thursday. So if you have questions about that and you are in the program, we'll make sure we get the correct information to you. So again, those students who will be attending this program, we'll make sure you have the right dates.
Thank you, Mr. King. That is an update. That was the earlier one. So could you go back, please?
Okay.
Dr. Phelps, he is correct. Backwards, please. Again, right there. Mr. King is correct. It is a Monday through Thursday program. I didn't catch that, Mr. King. Thank you.
All right, thanks. And the hours will be 9 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. and there is no cost for this program. Next slide. In order for students to be successful in this program, they must receive at least a 60% or higher. And they will have weekly progress updates that will be given to students and parents. Check-in meetings with learning coaches and counselors will be offered to students as well. Administration will monitor student attendance, participation, and grades. So students that are attending, it is important that they actually attend classes virtually every day and do the assignments, because if you don't pass, then you are still in jeopardy of being retained in the current grade level. Now, the Tier 1 program, which more information is forthcoming, but that will be available to all students in middle school. And you don't have to sign up for it. It's automatically, all students will be automatically enrolled. And it's through Edgenuity, and it's reading and math as well. And this is remediation, insurance, learning, complete in current grade, and acceleration. So it's a program where students will follow an online path, but there's no live instruction for this program. Next slide.
You can go back. One thing that I just want to clarify is the program that Mr. King is referring to for all students is Edgenuity in math and reading, and more information will come out about that program in the next few days. The program before that, which is our those of you who may remember credit recovery, it is intended to allow students to pass for the school year. That's why students who received 3 E's in the quarter, 3 quarters, are the ones that have been invited. So this is the last chance, if you would, for students to pass those courses. And then going back to the Book Nook program, which is an accelerated reading program. Currently, all students have now been made available to sign up for Book Nook. However, it is a first come, first serve, because those that were invited, as they say yes, they're taking spots. And so if you have any interest in the Book Nook program, please contact your grade level administrator or teacher, and they will point you in the right direction in terms of where to sign up. Ms. Moore, if you have any additional information.
No, if they were to go to the Prince George's County website, it's the links right there for them. If what's it called? Under the Prince George's County Summer Learning Spark, if they were to type that in the search bar, there, right underneath there, it'll say Book Nook small group reading. They click that, there's a link for them to register right there on the site.
Okay, great. There is a PGCPS summer school site that includes all of this information. So if you just go into PGCPS and click on to summer school, you will see all the programs that we talked about this evening, and they will be they're continuing to make updates to those programs as well.
Oh, and Dr. Adams, I did forget to mention, there are summer enrichment packets for kindergarten through 12th grade that will be available to everybody, so.
And they will be online as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ms. Morphew. Thank you, everyone. Mrs. Henderson, could you unmute and help us square off the dates of election and so forth?
Yes, the election dates are open effective immediately today, and we're planning to run it through June the 12th. That gives us that week to tally up the nominations and make the vote happen by the last day of school, which is, I believe, what, the 15th, half day, 14th, 15th last day. So by the 15th, we had initially had another date but the nominations weren't coming in. The information didn't reach the parents in time. And, we started all over and we're like, this is an unusual year. So we're going to open it up tonight, effective immediately. Open till the 12th, make your nominations, and we'll make our elections by the last day of school.
Great. Thank you for the clarification. Ms. Payne, do you have questions in the chat that we need to answer?
Good evening, everyone. Not at this time.
Great.
Very thorough, yes.
Any clarifications anyone would like to make?
I have one for the nominations. Again, we need you parents, and we need you all to speak up and nominate someone, providing we get nominations. That's the schedule. But if we don't hear back from someone, we will have to revisit again to see where we'll go, or if we'll have to carry over last year's executive board to next year. So, give us a little wiggle room and know that we're relying on you to hear from you in a timely manner so that we can move forward and get a new executive board up and running over the summer for the first of the year.
Thank you.
Dr. Adams, there is a question in the chat. Is Book Nook only for elementary students?
That's correct. It is only for elementary. But I will say this about Book Nook. The information that has been provided on that program is that it is really an accelerated program where students achieve over a year's worth of growth by using that. So please, if you have an interest, I would encourage you to enroll your student.
And there was another question asking, do you know when parents will be informed if their child is selected for Book Nook?
Good question.
Book Nook is open now to all kindergarten through 5th grade students. Anyone can register, and it's on a first come, first served basis. So if
When they register, Ms. Crook, do they receive a confirmation?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so, Dr. Adams. That was one of the questions one of my parents had, because they registered, but they called. I'll find out who they called, and then when I find out the answer, I'll get back to whoever that parent is who's asking if we can find out who that is.
Okay.
But she was having problems. She signed up, but she didn't get a confirmation. But I believe they're supposed to get something, and she didn't receive anything. But I'll follow.
Okay, sorry. There are two questions. Can you go over the arrival times for the 8th grade graduation? For example, alphabetically?
Mr. King, do you have
Yes.
that?
Dr. Jones, can you stop sharing and I can share for a moment?
And in the interim, how would you know if your child needs credit recovery? When will we be notified?
So they were sent invitations, were sent to the students who have received 3 quarters of E's in either reading or math. So you have been notified. And if you know that to be the case and you have not been notified, please notify the school and let us know. But I believe most students have been notified.
Yes.
And Ms. Payne, as a matter of fact, she and Ms. Ashton were out today visiting students' homes that we were unable to contact the parents for. So thank you, Ms. Payne.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh,
And I just found out about the Book Nook. Once you register, you will get a confirmation. As soon as you register, a confirmation will come up on your screen.
all right. Thank you. And for the 8th grade promotion, it's on the 8th grade website. We also sent that link to parents and students, but I just wanted to start off at the regular website to show you how to get to the 8th grade site. Once you go to our Academic site, click grade level pages and click grade 8. Once the main page comes up, use the menu to click events, and the promotion information is on here. It talks about the event, and then it also talks about the last names and the times are at the bottom. So A through D would be 12 through 12:30. E through J is 12:30 to 1. K through R is 1 to 1:30, and S through Z is 1:30 to 2. And I'm not sure, I couldn't remember if Ms. Crook mentioned this earlier, but our rain date is June 10th. Just in case it rains, we will move our events to June 10th.
Any additional questions, Ms. Payne?
Yes. Ms. Morphew, could you share the contact number for Book Nook with Ms. Scott, Zachary's mom?
I'll do that.
All righty.
I'll-
So another question says, I'm sorry.
I'll dojo you, Miss Scott.
Good evening, Ms. Scott.
So if you know your child failed but didn't receive notification for credit recovery, do we reach out to the school? So Ms. Matthews, it has to be 3 quarters of failure of reading or math, just reading or math. So if they failed reading and math, yeah. And it has to be 3 quarters.
So,
but you can still contact your guidance counselor.
while that is guided, the difference is guided versus unguided summer school for middle school. And there will be teachers available to contact. In addition to that, both programs are using Edgenuity, which allows for students to get that extra support.
Yes, that is correct, Ms. Proctor.
Any other questions?
No, not at this time.
All right, we're going to give that little wait time. But in the interim, I just want to say that we are not closing out. We're going to finish strong this school year, but just know that we are planning next school year now. That's a lot of work on our part that we have to do. And if there are some suggestions that parents would like to make, please feel free to email any of us here this evening of your ideas or thoughts. In addition to that, just know that we would like to thank you for this school year and also tell you that please have a safe and wonderful summer. As a school community, we have been through a great deal over this school year. And so I encourage everyone to get downtime and really enjoy some time with family. Have a great evening and let's all finish strong the Accokeek way. Have a great summer.